What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is my review of Naomi episode 8. Now, the first thing I wanted to cover off with you guys is, first of all, thanks for supporting the channel. There's not a lot of people that are doing reviews on Naomi at the moment, so I'm going to continue to follow this one through. And as of March the 25th, the CW network have done a lot of renewals in terms of their shows that they have on there. We've heard that Lois and Superman will get another season. Flash has been updated to season 9. We haven't heard anything on much other shows. Legends of Tomorrow, they believe, might be going on for another season. And with Naomi, they haven't made an announcement on that yet either. Now, will the CW renew or cancel Naomi for season 2? Well, in my opinion, I think they're going to renew it. The network has done very well with DC superhero shows in the past, and a few of them are sort of ended after a couple of years, maybe leaving room for new ones. And as we know, this came up on the dawn of Black Lightning ending, Supergirl ending. You know, they shut down quite a few shows. They did have 2 shows developing. One was called Green Arrow and the Canaries, and the other show was called Painkiller, which is coming off Black Lightning. And they didn't go through with those. Now, I don't know whether that was just because they wanted to go in a new direction, or whether because there's rumblings of a takeover with Discovery and HBO and everything moving. At the time, a lot of shows like Titans and Doom Patrol moved away from DC Universe and jumped onto sort of HBO. And the difference here is because the CW is in the middle of talks of being sold off. So, and everyone's saying, look, it's probably going to end up going to HBO. So we really don't know at the moment, guys. And that's probably the reason why we haven't heard anything yet. But I'd be surprised if it wasn't renewed for year 2, because there's simply so much development going on here. They're taking their time, and it's probably the right thing to do in many respects. I know some people would want sort of more urgency, and at times in my reviews, I've asked for that. But I think we've had things rushed to the point now where we're waiting for Brutus to become aware, because the show at the moment hasn't had an antagonist, and we really need that at this moment. We're 8 episodes in. We've talked about Brutus, and we all know that his name's been flying around for the last few episodes, but we haven't seen him on the show. We don't know what his goals are. We don't know why any of them would want to hunt down Naomi. We don't know what Akira's deal is in this, although I said she's probably the one that betrayed the 29. So there's a lot of things to sort of unpack and uncover. And as time goes on, you're going to need 2 things. You're going to need the writers to say, look, guys, let's hurry up a little, not a lot. Don't give us everything here and now. Save something for the development of the show, the natural, organic move of the show into what they would deem their big bad. But here we are. It's 13 episodes in season 1. We're more than halfway through now, with episode 8 gone and episode 9 coming. So there's only sort of 5 episodes left, but we still really haven't seen any definitive bad guy in the series. And that must be a little concerning for the producers, because what they don't want to see at the moment is waning viewership. They don't want to see the numbers going down, because people are just sort of not locked into the series. Why most of us are still here, because the element of her growth and the characterizations is quite fun. Lourdes, she has finding that she lives a very private life. Any intrusion into her private life doesn't go down well. And we saw Nathan and Anthony and it, you know, trying to help her because of this whole collective with Naomi. They look at everybody as friends. And Lourdes doesn't look like that. That isn't sort of her mindset. She's an outsider. So I think the episode done well into bringing her into play. At the end of the episode, she walked up to the guys and said, no, I apologize. They both apologized to each other. But she was saying, you know, I need to be more acceptable to people who want to be friends. And I thought that was nice for her, because she hasn't really played a lot in this season. Her and Jacob have probably had the most limited time out of everybody else, and we got an episode full of Jacob in this one as well. And again, these are things that are much needed for world building, for development. And it's nice because in this episode, Naomi had to take special care to protect her identity after Jacob finds out who she really is. And I think what was strange about it was the fact that, you know, we have a Cisco and we have a Chester P. Funk on the Flash, and we always have Felicity Smoke, a brainchild, you know, an oracle, someone who works behind the scenes on the tech and the computers. And this show hasn't really had that. So you could always see that Jacob was going to find his way and find his groove into this show as that kind of narrative that the show really needed. And still no sign of Dr. Bell. They went to Star Labs and there was no sign of Dr. Bell, not even her body's there. So it could be possible that she may be transported somewhere else, or someone else has just taken her and hold her captive. But more on that probably in the next few episodes. But for Jacob, the fact that he was saying, oh, there must be tech in there that can detect whether somebody's an alien or not, and I'll get to the bottom of it. When he said that, I was like, this guy has to be brought into play quickly. We have to find a way to bring this guy into play. And that's exactly what they did in the episode. A bit of the debris started falling around him in the central console, and Naomi was there to sort of do her Wonder Woman lifting up the tank impression and stop him from being crushed by this boulder. This is part of the no frills stuff in the show, but I think the episodes are improving. I mean, they used to be a 6.57, now they're 7.5s, and we had an 8 out of 10 episode that I reviewed. So they are improving and we're getting more locked into the characters. But some of the set pieces, I think, and I talked about the fight scene in the last episode with Zumbado, I thought that that could have had a little work done to it. The fight scene in this episode against Dee and Zumbado was very good. I have to say it was very good. It was especially the way that Dee finished with the flip kick and landed in, did the superhero landing. I thought that that was very good. But the whole point of Zumbado, I thought, carried a lot of weight. And before that they had a fight to bring their points across, I was kind of on board with both of them. I turned around and said, well, actually, they're both right. You have to look at Dee's narrative and the way how he's training her, because first of all, he's an adept warrior at hand-to-hand combat, a seasoned veteran, and he knows what he's talking about. And what he's saying is it's not about teaching her with a stick or fighting with her hands or anything like that. Anyone who's done any form of boxing or martial arts knows it's discipline. It's about discipline. So for anyone who's got this power that emits this strange kind of powerful energy and it's emotion based, you know, if she loses her rag, then Naomi's going to be in trouble and there's not going to be anybody that's going to be able to stop her. So letting her understand the discipline and the calm nature, meditation, hand-to-hand combat, using a weapon, having the ability to train in martial arts for her to better understand herself before she understands anything else is a really good way. But at the same time, if Brutus turns up next week, that's not going to help her. That's not going to help anybody. It's not going to help her family, her friends around her. It's not going to help anybody. So Zumbado has a point where you have to get her ready and bring out as much of her power as possible. So I like when they kind of talked about the fact that she jumped off the bridge, because we were under the impression that she flew. So when Zumbado said, how would you like to learn how to fly? I was like, huh? I thought she already did. But then she explained that when she jumped off the bridge, she felt like, you know, it was all soft and she just flowed onto the floor, and, you know, so that's what she felt. So it was nice for them to clean it up after 4 or 5 episodes later. But it does put the ball out there that this girl's got so much growth. I mean, even now in the comics, she's having new element to her powers being told. And I did say that the TV show is going to allow them to expand on her powers a lot more and a lot better than the comics ever will, because it's taken a more different route to her development. But I'm kind of happy with where it is at the moment. And I have to say, it was quite an entertaining episode. I'm going to give this one a 7.5 as well, out of 10. And I'm really just now waiting to see if they can turn the heat up on this thing and show us what Brutus is all about. Let us see this imposing figure. I'd like them to start off really getting an actor that can play the role in a way that would bring some intensity to the series. I mean, there has to be a threat level, right? That's what it's all about right now. And as I said, moving forward, just improving the fight scenes and things like that and the set pieces, those are the things that hopefully will lock this show into gear and bring more viewers in as well. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, guys, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Peace out.